meet. Um, it's kind of you organized it, so I see the other subjects mainly related to psychological aspects. But I think, as it is popularly said, a person is some of their times and conditions that pre-exist in the society. So it is relevant that you invite some of us to talk about social norms. Because I think one time or the other, as we people working with the social conflicts and personal conflicts, both domestic conflicts, we sometimes face a lot of psychological aspects of the social problems. That is vice versa, same with the psychological aspects also, because that is deeply rooted within the social behaviors that are being uh, taught, or that we are conditioned for. So, first of all, we will talk from the aspect of the gender. See, when we talk about the personal conflicts, intrapersonal conflicts, I think my area of this thing is not between why conflicts are there between two men or two women. My area is why there are conflicts between men and women. So I go with that. I hope it is all right with you, even though you put it in a broader context of the whole, I think, men and women. I hope it is not so, because you invited me for this. So now I start with what actually is the primary responsibility that is envisaged allocated for women from the beginning, yani from the childbirth. Of course, no doubt, it is all about the domestic care work, which is given with love, patience. These are the social uh, social acceptance. These are also the expected characteristics of the women, of any women. Um, you may call it some kind of stereotype, but it exists. You ask any women, they'll tell you that what is the greatness of Bharat Nari. Greatness of Bharat Nari is about caregiving and about taking care of the family, about the working within the four walls of the household. That is the major, the primary responsibility of the women. So let us look at this thing where it leads to. When you talk about social norms that condition women and men, what are these social norms within the existing conditions of our society? It is completely stereotyped for masculinity and femininity, and it is also unjustly, uh, there is a unjust division of labor within men and women. What is this unjust division of labor? Broadly, it is considered as the all the household caregiving work is from women as a basic responsibility, and the other side is the man, who is a breadwinner, who is a protector, and so on and so forth. So now let us come back to this. When you want a woman to be at home, and also consider that it is her natural responsibility to take care of elderly and also children, then of course the extension is taking care of the husband, taking care of whoever are there, taking care of the whole household work, and so on and so forth. So when you talk about this, what do you expect? What do you, where do you start bringing up your girl child? You will start telling her that, okay, you are studying very well, you are going forward with it. But still, you see, I'm not just talking about the poor households of India. I'm not even talking about the lower middle class. I am talking about every household, whether it is, I forget about the too rich, but household where women work is required. Required in the sense, you may be putting up a domestic help, but still a lot need to be done in the, even in the middle class households. So these households where you will start teaching your girl child how to do all these things, how to take care of the household mainly. Even if she is studying, there is always a resentment, or there is always an uncertainty or unsatisfaction that she is not learning these domestic course. She may be having trouble when she is married. This is the, that means you're actually preparing a girl child from the beginning to be a good wife, not a good citizen, not an equal human being. You are conditioning her to be uh, a wife, a mother, a caregiver. And on the other side, there is also the another aspect of the girls being studying. They are exposed to the new world. They are also thinking about, okay, why not we also have the same opportunities? This is of course the fundamental right of any person. But when you ask the women, girls particularly, to stop your study because you are not able to, we are not able to pay as much as we are ready to pay for the boy in the same house. And we are asking, from there you start. There you start, and women also. I'm not just talking about this conflict of realization. Women made accountable for the all the domestic work and the caregiving, which is completely unpaid, completely unpaid, and it is not valued either by household or by the nation. So where do we stand? We stand in urban areas. As per ILO statistics, 312 minutes women working in caregiving, unpaid work. So whereas men are spending only 29 minutes. Mind, it's 29 minutes. So when women and also men, no, I'll put it another way. Men and women actually consider that this is the basic identity, astha. This is the basic responsibility. Women are accountable for this. And whenever men are asked,
Devi garu unmute cheyara.
Sorry, it has somehow gone into mute. How much did you miss?
No, just for a second.
Okay. So, quote unquote, women actually expected to fulfill all this. When men are asked or they are doing some kind of household work, then immediately it is considered as help. So the conflict starts here. Girls also want to study. Girls also want to be sports persons. Girls also want to be mobile. Whereas you are not giving her the mobility opportunity to do what she wants. Then she compares herself. So your first, see one thing, the household is a place where you actually breed inequalities, where the question of not getting justice is actually breeding in the minds of the girls. They compare themselves. They have eyes, they have senses, they compare. When my brother is getting all these things, why am I not getting it? So most of the time we talk that, oh, madam, whatever you are talking about either village level, illiterate, poor families. Sorry to break this myth. It is a huge myth, because Amartya Sen says that even if he interviewed his Oxford colleagues long ago means some 15 years ago, he wrote an article. When he interviewed, the girl said, "Oh, we are getting every opportunity and every facility that can be provided to go forward in studies and in any other areas." When it is deeply looked into, he writes that actually the girls are discouraged to take risky professions, to take the science, research, and other areas. The same thing, if you continue in I'll come to Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is one area, the example of women being forward in education like anything. Not anywhere else in India it is happening. Even the SC/ST communities, they are actually getting 50% of education. I mean, 50% of education for the girls. But still, if you go through the statistics, you will find that 44% of domestic violence, that is highest in India. Why? Same thing. You are educated, you are a little bit well off, but the expected role of women has not changed, cutting across all the sections. So when you expect this, when you condition both men and women to work in equal relationships, and you want always women to fit in the family structure without thinking about herself or her career or her desires, her expectations, her achievements, then every person has this urge within themselves inbuilt to do something, to achieve something, to get a prize, to show off. But no, women are not allowed to do so. So then what happens? Then what happens? Women trying to struggle out of these unequal equations or so-called social norms, and men becoming more and more assertive of their privileges. This leading to a lot of conflicts in younger generation now. Within the household. One of the examples you will find that, let us take software, where almost both of them are, of course, women are still less, but almost equally women and men are working there. You will find that the household, within the household, if even if the girl is that young woman is going to work equally with the husband, working equal hours, she is expected to fulfill her domestic caregiving job, cooking, whatever, cleaning. You may have maids help, but still you are the primary caretaker of the house. Also, of course, if children are born, it is natural that the caregiving is left on the women mainly. So then there itself a conflict starts. Actually, two things starts within women. Even though I am doing this, why have I to be the responsible, accountable person wholly for this household tasks? Why not my husband? Why not somebody else? Somebody else is not ready to come for your help today, particularly when it comes to the child care. And child care facilities within the work area are not adequate, or anywhere else is not sufficient for women to leave their child there and go, at least when they are younger. And now they are a little bit trying to put them in a good child care or good nursery or trying pre-nursery, something like that, but still they are not enough. So still these young women are to be the caregivers. So when from the beginning I have heard one young man arguing with the wife. My mother used to work as a teacher. She used to do all the cooking, cleaning, and everything, then taking care of us, coming back again from the job, teaching us, helping us out in our studies. That's how my mother worked. What's the problem with you? That means you are expecting your wife to be working so many hours just like your mother. You don't think that aspirations of younger generation have changed. Your aspirations have changed, but you expect your wife's aspirations to be the same as your mother or your grandmother for that matter. Okay, then these young women, let us say, being a loving wife, role of a loving wife, then a very caregiving mother, how can she fulfill her job opportunities? How can she? So one survey says that women in IT sector are paid 22% less because of this, their marriage, their childcare work, which is expected to be done. So they don't get promotions or they don't become team leaders. So they are paid less. When they take maternity leave, then again they start from the scratch. So let's come back to it. And women actually taking care of so much of this UN women says that actually a working mother in the sense all the women are working, but a women in the paid job, a salaried job, is actually working 14, 15 hours a day, whereas husband gets only 9 hours a day. As I said, they work only 29 minutes a day in caregiving job, unpaid work. Women actually work 312 minutes in unpaid care job in the households. So this is a kind of hidden social currency that happens, and if it is violated, women are punished. Or the violence against women for not fulfilling their household duties is justified within the arbitrary of this. It is always justified. I'll tell you, you may be wondering, I'm talking about some dark times. I'm not talking about some dark ages. I am talking about the latest example. The, the, the latest case with me now is the, the, both of them are in Canada for 2 years. And now the husband is not ready to take her back. She's also a software engineer. But in Canada, she didn't go to the paid work. She took care of the household, and he complains three things. One, she's not willing to wake up early. Second thing, she doesn't make breakfast for 3 days a week. And third, she keeps calling me when I am in the work. These are the reasons he is giving for demanding the divorce. So what these are three are telling you? Are they talking about some personal habits? No, they are talking about the norms, within the norms in which women have to behave, that are being violated by some so and so person, and they are also issuing an expectation saying that she won't change. That means she has to be like this, and so she's not doing as she expected, so I have every right to divorce. That is the justification. As quite sometimes when these unpaid jobs are not fulfilled, it triggers violence within the household. That is one reason even today the modern nuclear families are also subjected to continuous domestic violence, or sometimes it is severe than the 3 generations ago. So the intrapersonal conflicts are intensified with the masculinity or femininity, which are stereotyped and imposed and reinforced time and again by media and society. So this is one area where we start working on it. And the second thing is, women themselves, even they are working, they don't have any sorry, any most of the times they don't have much of a decision making power on their own incomes. One thing, they have income poverty, they have time poverty. Both the things actually lead to two different areas. One, you are not doing as per the social norms. Second thing, you are not able to fulfill your duties as a wife and a loving wife, providing services to the husband in every form, and also mother. One may not one who is not a mother, one who is not a regular job mother, it may not be able to understand. Every time that woman goes to work, she feels guilty and she feels conflicted. She feels, she herself tells her that I am a bad mother, and to compensate it, she overworks while after coming back, which actually never satisfies anybody. So this whole circle of guilt continues for a long time. And even if a child fails in any exam, the man is not expected to take care of the homework or studies. It is always said that, okay, because the mother is not available, because mother is working, because mother is not able to allocate time for the child. So these, however reasonable she is, however she justifies her work and all these things, still women are not expected to be ambitious. They are expected to sacrifice their career, their work, their job, their achievements, everything for the sake of family and the children. Are the women actually ready to be go back to the four walls of this domesticity, leave all the progress they have made over the years? So that is not there. So women are actually split within themselves, while conditioned to this, and also desiring to get the equal rights and opportunities as a human being. So in this conflict within themselves, and also this conflict leads to the different kind of struggle with the husband. They want to keep the family relationships, that means either with in-laws or with parents or with the children or with the husband, intact, whereupon fulfilling their duties. This itself is becoming a very heavy burden on women. But men are no men are men, sometimes they help you, sometimes they are very generously sometimes taking care of the child, but they are not accountable for it. They don't feel guilty leaving a child going to the office, because it is not natural for a man to take care of a child. So there starts the guilt. One girl questioning her software husband, I found, you come early, I came a little bit late. What's wrong if you make coffee by the time I reach home? I can have a coffee with you and relax and start the work. So husband says, do you expect me to prepare coffee by the time you come home? What do you think of yourself? So here starts the whole conflict. This is a simple thing of behavior. It's a simple thing of just forgetting your condition. From the childhood, you are taught that wife is the one who has to wait for you.
It is not audible, ma'am. Some network issue it seems. Yeah, there is always a issue in India and in many of the even you can consider the South Asian countries that there is a conflict exists always with the uh, latest modern roles and the traditional roles. As ma'am rightly said that the males wanted to promote themselves as a modern human being, but they don't want their counterparts to be in the latest model rules. They wanted to copy either their mother or their grandmother. This is the major reason for having the conflicts. So there are so many conflicts exist in the females have to work on their work life balance and their workplace discrimination and also the relationship dynamics and also the parenting and caregiving to the kids and the domestic violence it is existing, and also many of the women face a lot of domestic violence. It may not be sometimes only physical, but many a times it goes to verbal, it goes with the treatment, it goes with the belittle in front of others. So there are so many forms the domestic violence exists. But unfortunately, many of the people, what they do is violence means only they should see the bruises on the body or the blood appears on the human body. Generally, people claim that there is a violence. So the violence is one of the most concern issue in many of the houses. I think many of you might have noticed that during the pandemic and during the lockdown, a lot of violence was taken place in the houses, and there are n number of complaints lodged in the police stations by the phone calls. So that has become order of the day in those days. Though for weekdays it was a honeymoon that everybody at home and maintaining their life and everything was good. But as that lockdown time progresses, really taken the very bad shape. Apart from losing the jobs, losing lives, losing the peace of mind. This is another major issue which popped up in the houses in India and abroad also. And also the another most challenging thing many of the women experience is the sexual harassment at the various places. It can be on the road, it can be in the working place. And another challenge, they always have the peer pressure. The women may face conflicts with the peers and social groups when their choice or behavior challenges their prevailing norms or expectations. These are all things are really going to influence the people. So these are all things definitely requires a new way of looking at things, and we have to find out the solutions, and we need to work out collectively to find a very better solution where the win-win platform must be created at home and at office. This is possible only when the male female can sit and talk and come out with a solution where they can feel that their life will be very safe, and also they can really give the necessary care to the kids and to the family. This is a how everybody need to look at. As the time progresses, technology rises, but still the challenge taken by the women as the technology rises, the work done by the women at home and outside is enormously increasing. But many people think that as the technology came into the power, then definitely women has got very less work to do at home. So actually it is in another way around.
Uh,
Devi madam, are you back? Devi madam.
I'm back. I'm on hotspot actually. I'm not on Wi-Fi. So
Oh,
it
okay,
is
okay.
getting
Please. I
disconnected.
just fill up the gap I entered. Please carry on.
Ha. Yeah, it's okay. So what I was saying is also about the masculinity which we build up at homes. You will see that if the boy actually harasses anybody, comments or behaves rudely, it is just considered as a right of the boy, young women, expected behavior of young man. and also a small aberration, nothing more. But when women are actually infatuated with anything, that is considered a huge loss of character. So you will find the same extension to the public places quite often, where the conflict happens within the norms of these things, because you are supposed to behave like this, you are supposed to not only behave, you have to be like this. Your dress code, your sense of talking, your sense of timing, your way of looking at even also considered and under these social norms. So women who are actually dressed modernly are deserved to be harassed by these young men. The women who looks traditionally is to be loved. So starting from there, you go to the extension. Extension is, it is said in the offices that women, you take within the colleagues, they have the power sanctioned by the society, that women who came out of the four walls, doing job, earning things, but you are actually invading a space which is the man arena. So when you dare to enter man arena, man feels that society has given me a power. So this is my right to actually harass them at workplace. The same goes with the boss. He has two. One is sanctioned by the social norms. The other is power of the his own post. What women are supposed to do? Why the sexual harassment at workplace or any place is or domestic violence go unreported? Because women feel, first of all, they start telling themselves that they are at. Are you getting me?
Yes, ma'am.
Last.
Well, there was a
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Please carry
I
on.
felt that.
Yes, ma'am.
Going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So they are uh, so they are expected to behave in certain. I'll tell you a small thing. We were sitting in a discussion in a panel in a live channel. So I just sit cross-legged, putting one leg on the other. The other person, a senior person, is sitting besides me, and he kept on looking at my foot. I mean, my leg, which is crossed on my own leg, means in a public place or in a live show, women are not expected to sit like that. It is against the norms. You have to be modest, obedient, and look that you are a woman kind of a look you have to give. So he kept on looking at it and he was offended by it. So you start the conflict. So same goes with the boss or the colleagues at your workplace. Same is expected. Women are not expected to speak loud. We think that the social norms have changed, but I don't see much change, because the social norms have, as I said earlier, as a hidden social currency. So they don't want to change it. This actually leading to a lot of conflict, whereas women don't even today have the right on their bodies or their reproduction or their work or their expectations and desires and their achievements, their children, or their job, or their property or their earnings. So that leads a lot of struggle within women, and also within the family. Sometimes it escalates to severe violence. Sometimes it is a continuous conflict within the family. You see, these unequal relationships and unequal equations and power relations of within the family shows you that see, whenever a girl comes back to home and complains about her domestic problems with the parents, they always tell you that okay, this is expected. There's some kind of domestic conflicts and some kind of uncertainty, some kind of dominance is expected, and women are supposed to adjust themselves to the given that thus justify and also accepting and normalizing the whole conflicts within the family. But the question is, why the family members to be in conflict with each other? Conflict or struggle arises when you have different interests, different be in conflict. But if you have, so you ask any family member, whether it is a man or a woman, they'll tell, oh, we are both of in the same route. We are both of us are working for the children. Okay, right, both of you are working with the children. But why is so much of violence within your family? Why there are so many conflicts? Why there are disputes arising out of nothing? So it is said that we don't know. So this is when it is expected that when your society is entering into more and more conflicting interests, both personally and socially, when where more and more women and who are in the unequal positions are struggling themselves to identify themselves as humans, or struggling to get equal opportunities, they're actually fighting for their own fundamental rights. So that is not being looked kindly by the even if they are our close relatives, looked kindly upon them. They just feel it is violation of norms. So it is leading more and more into deeper conflicts within the family and within the society. This reinforcement has to go. This complete primary identity of women.
Madam, sorry for interruption. There's another 3 minutes. We'll close it and we'll take the question answers.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I'm just saying one single word.
Yeah.
When you want to confront violence or conflict, you need to solve this. You need to find a place where you have to question this unjust division of labor, and putting up women primary identity as a unpaid caregiver. So you need to find out strategies to actually encounter this. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much for your nice inputs and insights. Hope everybody listening. I request, please, now it is open for the questions. So please raise questions. If you can post the chat box, I'll read. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and talk.
Hello, sir. May I please ask a question to Devi ma'am? This is
Yeah.
Shanti. Devi ma'am, first of all, thanks a lot. I see you in live debates. I want to meet you sometime, but I hope I will. Thank you so much for the insights. Ma'am, 2023 also. Hello?
Yeah, it's audible. Please carry on.
Okay. So in 2023 also, we find traditions coming back, and they are affecting women's freedom, women's individuality. Many of women believe that I deserve this. For example, if a woman is going through, domestic violence, she is being told spiritual reasons. So please share your take on this, because many are unaware. Many think it's my fate. It's my fate. I have done some, past life karma, so I'm facing this. Or it's written for me. It's my destiny. If I escape this, something else will happen. So many of us have this ingrained in our heads. Please share your thoughts regarding, spiritual or traditional belief system and women's oppression.
See, when it comes to domestic violence, the latest data is from the NFHS 5, and also the most of the material you got is from UN Women and also the ILO. Okay. So I am not just talking my head off with all my personal prejudice and putting them forward. One thing. Second thing is, women themselves, 79% of women in India justify the violence by husband, scolding or beating, on five conditions. One, it is NFHS 5 data. Anybody can go into it and find it out. It's a government data. So they say that if you go out without the permission of the husband, if you don't cook properly or do the household work, or you don't take care of the elderly or children, or you actually talk to other men without, I mean, unknown men or with men other than the husband. So these are the things that women themselves accept, justify the violence. So you can understand how socially we are conditioned to this.
Yes, ma'am. And no
Second
such
thing,
conditions are applicable
one
to
thing.
men.
Second thing, you are always start. I'll tell you one thing. In Sholapur, women actually fasting for 180 days a year. One vrat or the other for the husband or for the family or for something. You know, why do they don't report? Because the honor of the family, both maternal and in-laws family, is on her head. If you report, you are not a good woman. You have to bear it. You are dharitri, so you have to bear it. So still we are in the same condition. So women keep silent. One thing. Second thing, where are the support systems? Is there anybody telling her it is the best way is to talk about your violence? You need not to bear the violence silently. You can talk about it. Is there anybody telling her that in the whole world? No. If you want to go for a reporting, you go there. You go to the police station with blood wounds. They'll tell you, madam, tomorrow you will compromise, so I don't file an FIR today. Whereas the law says if it is blood wounds, you have to bring the husband immediately, get arrested, and give her protection and shelter. They don't do it. Why? Because their social norm is completely in a different way. So they are also conditioned. They feel that social conflicts are not to be reported in the police station. What are the other areas of support do you have? You don't have any other areas of support. I mean, there are counseling centers, but both police and counseling centers are trying to send you back. Of course, your parents do it.
There's
So
another question.
when you report a violence, it is said that you are actually breaking up a family. So women don't report. They feel it is my the sins I have done in my last birth are actually haunting me in this birth. తెలుగులో ఒక సామెత ఉంది, పుణ్యం కొద్ది పురుషుడు దానం కొద్ది బిడ్డలని. So they they believe in that. They make you believe from the childhood. So how do you come out of it?
Parents don't support, ma'am. Parents
Huh?
in the Indian society, many of the parents
They
don't
don't.
support.
This is something
Yes,
And
they
this
don't.
happens mostly in the middle class families.
They
Okay.
don't. I personally know that they don't.
Another question, Devi ma'am. It posted in the
Yes.
chat box. Madam,
Mm.
many times it could be mental violence either at home or workplace. How to deal
Mm.
with the scenarios?
See, workplace harassment is actually as a internal complaints committees are to be constituted. If you don't have more than 10 women in your workplace, that it has to be a local complaints committee. If you are a salaried employee, that is the thing. If you are unorganized also, you can go to LCC. But otherwise, there is no other way except that you make a complaint within the department. That actually, in the conditions in different areas, it is actually leading to the um, different kind of situations, like women being humiliated in the whole process. So I say that sometimes, if there are good sensitized trained people and good-hearted citizens are there, then women are assured. Sometimes trade unions are strong, then women get some justification within work area. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult. Even in the I am ICC member for so many work areas, I find it everybody wants to put violence against women in the workplace under the carpet. They are very proud to announce we don't have any cases. They consider it is a normal thing.
Ma'am, can you give us the tips how to handle the domestic violence and how we can ourselves handle with our own hands in the family so that we lead a peaceful life, and how we can handle the sexual harassment, as you said, in the workplace? So, it's better, I feel, in Indian society, women, they themselves know the tips to handle so that they run their life practically. There is no point in going to the system and filing the case, because I get to hear in Bangalore also that sexual harassment cases, whenever any women employee has given the reason to the HR, their career is screwed up totally.
I
So
know.
that is reality is completely different from what the discussion is going on in the session. Of course, you're all seniors, but that's what I experience in the life. So whatever is my experience, I'm just sharing. But can you please give us the tips
That's what
how
I am
to?
saying. I'm not saying that every system is working. I only saying that if there are good-hearted people, it is working. It is not systemized. There are no systemized support systems, because all the systems are bending backwards to accommodate these social reinforced norms. Okay.
Ma'am, one thing, everywhere male dominance is going on. That's why they are
Yes.
putting under the carpet.
Yes. Yes. That's what I'm telling you.
So then I
Okay.
feel more than the women empowerment, men empowerment discussion should go on.
Yeah, sure.
Men's
It's
behavior change.
Not
Men's
the
behavioral
empowerment.
change.
Yeah. Sensitization
That's
is
what
the
sensitization
point.
and awareness. That is the crucial thing. And when it comes to the domestic violence, I keep telling our young women that never accept any kind of violence on you. From the beginning, you have to put a stop to it. No, I won't tolerate this. अभी है प्यार में एक बार हाथ उठाया సి ఒక్కసారి ప్రేమగా కొట్టాడు ఒప్పుకున్నాను సారీ చెప్పాడు ఏడ్చాడు అక్కడతో ఆగదు ప్రతిసారి కొట్టడం సారీ చెప్పడం నడుస్తూ ఉంటది అందుకని in the beginning itself you have to tell them, for the husbands to realize that my wife is an equal person in the family. So no beating ups, no cruelty, either verbal, physical or sexual. No to it. That's the only way to deal.
still
Don't
slavery system
tolerate.
is going on, ma'am. Still slavery system is going on.
Yes, I agree.
Madam, males have more ego. So when we say also, they don't listen, madam. In most of the cases, I observed.
Yes.
So, madam, I have one doubt. Most of the cases I'm getting now, couple cases, wife is saying that husband is not empathetic towards me. He's not looking into my problems like that. But when they say only we'll help them, madam. So
Huh.
it's
See,
your
that is
example.
also there. That is some personal expectations that depends on the what you call it, a personality. Some people are able to express what they do or what they want. Normally, wife's behavior, as I said, we are conditions to observe what actually husband wants. A loving
Yes.
wife is, before husband asks for a brush, you are ready with the brush. or with
Yeah.
his comb, you are ready with the comb. That is what wives do. So their wives in turn expect their husband to understand what they want from the husband, or expect unsaid.
Yes.
The
Okay,
same
but
must be
husbands
reciprocal.
say, no, husbands say, no, that is not my duty. Sorry. You
Yes.
have to spell it out. You have to
Yeah,
spell
madam.
it out loud. Sometimes I may be distracted, but you have to shout. So
Yes.
all
Yes.
these things. So this is actually a form of this stereotypes.
Yeah, madam. It's
Huh.
continuing, madam.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
One small query. Can you please explain the tips to handle a husband who is a narcissist, basically?
There is no way to handle narcissists, even if it is a husband or if it is a PM.
Ma'am, shall I
There is
talk
no
now?
way. It is a huh?
Shall I
It's
talk? Manta?
it's a condition of the brain. Is there any cure that we need to ask Dr. Virender?
No,
Is
no,
there
no.
any cure for narcissism?
It is very, 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 very difficult to handle.
Yeah.
Madam, this is Joshi. I have a query. I just wanted to know what is the origin of this problem, of this inequality, as your all lectures seem to be more inclined towards women. What is the origin of this problem
It is not
of
inclined.
men being like this?
Actually, time and again, I am asked that you are actually talking partially. Partiality is seen in your actually towards inclined towards the females. See, because it is male dominated society, it is completely imbalanced. To make it a balancing thing, I am taking their part. Okay, one thing.
Uh,
Second thing, the root cause is women not having, as I said, property, income, education, opportunities, because the whole patriarchal society controls everything, including her body. These norms are to be broken. If you
okay,
can,
madam.
huh.
I would go one step forward in asking
Mhm.
that you have just mentioned all those factors to be more sociological. What are the psychological origins of this problem?
Do you think that our psychological aspects they actually come and penetrate our brain from sky or space? Their origin is within the society. They overlap
Well,
each other.
madam, I put this open statement, whether probably it might be. It's actually the problem here is that the idea and promotion of masculinity. You are able to capture the idea. It is how women promote masculinity, and men try to fit that frame, and it is been taught. It is the origin of this problem is the vague idea of masculinity, and how is it promoted from generation to generation in in the society. So the psychological makeup of what masculinity is what is a problem.
See, when I talk about masculinity and femininity and stereotypes, you don't, you never think that I am just talking about men. I am talking about women also. I am talking more about women themselves accepting all these social norms. That's why I quoted 79% justify their husbands beating them. What does it show? They are conditioned to that kind of masculinity. They are conditioned that caregiving, loving work is our work. We are accountable for it. If we violate that, we are punishable. So what do you think? Masculinity conditioning means it means that both men and women accept these roles. When you want to change it, those who get benefit out of it, those who get
And
privileges out of it, are not ready to change in any case, in any dominance, not just man and women dominance, not on femininity or masculinity. You take religion, you take caste, the same thing applies.
who frames the expectations?
Who frames their, see, that again is a very complex issue. Your expectations are changing every day. Your exposure is changing every day. So what actually shapes your expectations is very difficult to say nowadays.
So that means you agree to the idea that it is all about how the idea of masculinity and how it is promoted in the society.
Then what am I talking about?
The idea.
I'm talking about stereotypes of masculinity and femininity being reinforced within the system, systematically, by everyone. I mean, media, I mean, within the family, I mean, institutions, everywhere it is there, systemized.
Okay, Mr. Joshi,
So
the
how
time is
women
up.
empower?
Joshi, time is up. Later we can have a conversation. Thank you very much, Devi ma'am, for taking out time. Though you are busy with Rajasthan, you really came and you spared your time and you've given the nice insights. Thank you, all the participants. Tomorrow we are going to have a third topic. I appreciate your interest, and please share this information with your friends and let them also join and get the benefit of it.
Shall I talk, sir?
Yeah, no, we are going to close, ma'am. Tomorrow we can have a conversation.
Okay, thank you.
And I posted the link. So please share
Okay.
your opinions on the link that about the session. Thank you very much and take care. Bye bye. Good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.